Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel News live stream on this, a Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021. No, Ezra's much too busy to be hosting today. Even Sheila Gunn-Reid, she can't make it, so I'm here, David Menzies, and my co-host. Well, let me tell you about my co-host. He is the Whitby Wonder. He is the dandy of Durham region. He is high energy. Andrew Chapados says... How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing great, Menzies. I'm sorry I didn't dress up for the part today. I decided to wear Rebel News merch, the Rebel burger and fries, you know. I had a suit on last night, as you congratulated me for.
Yes, I almost didn't recognize you.
At a Rebel Live event. It was a lot of fun. If you came out and you're watching today, thank you very much for coming. It was a taste of normalcy, David Menzies.
Oh, more than normalcy. Have you ever seen so many nice people in one room? Dr. McVitie, what a facility he has there.
He's got a new fan in me. I thought he had great comedic timing.
Oh, is that right?
I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah, no, he made some, some quite funny lines. Ezra, of course, spot on with his questions, and the questions were directed at none other but the great one, Tucker Carlson. It was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I don't think anyone left disappointed. It was a perfect length, I thought. And, all these freedom fighters standing up. I mean, it's amazing, Andrew. I'm driving in to Rebel News headquarters in the bunker here, somewhere in a nondescript industrial park in North Toronto.
There are homeless encampments all around us.
And I'm listening, I scan the AM radio, and all I'm hearing is admonishment. You people who are unvaccinated, you better pay attention to the rules. You better not go to a gym. I just got warning from our producer, Justin. I can't even talk about what I wanted to talk about because we're still on YouTube. We haven't left yet. Anyways, there was a lot of admonishment towards certain people for not doing a certain thing, if you catch my drift. And we'll go back to happy talk now, such as the Toronto Blue Jays, Mr. Producer's favorite sports team, beating the Tampa Bay Rays. I can tell they were the winners because I came into the studio and Justin does this thing with his arms, fly, Blue Jays, fly. So I know they win when he does.
It's better than watching highlights. For those of you at home, I'm following along with my David Menzies bingo card that the writers in the back had me bring in.
You're not kidding.
I can't tell you what phrases are on here, but I'll tell you if he says them.
Oh, no. I feel like that doddering old uncle at the Thanksgiving or Christmas
What
dinner.
Radio station were you listening to on the way in?
Yacht Rock Radio.
Damn it, that's not on there.
The 150,000 blowtorch tower of power spinning the golden ollies and the stacks of wax with Catherine Kay coming up on the ones with traffic and weather together and hosted by high energy Andrew Says. I think until today because this is the last day of summer, right? Or the first day of fall.
It's the first day of fall, so
when does your moonlighting gig end on that?
It ended yesterday on the way to the event. I did my spots, and now I'll be doing, Winter Lodge radio or something to that effect.
And what we're talking about, anyone who has a Sirius radio, if it's still on the air, go to Yacht Rock Radio and you'll hear Andrew Says in all his narrative brilliance. So there you go.
Yacht Rock Radio, I'm surprised, isn't on the bingo.
I'm very surprised.
It was a great event last night, and of course we want to get to the latest Rebel News stories on rebelnews.com, and we want to take your hyper chats from Odyssey, your Rumble rants from rumble.com, and we want you to chat along on Super U and YouTube as well. YouTube demonetizes us, so we can't take your YouTube chats there.
Yeah.
So please join us on the alternative platforms, which we'll be breaking away onto in a few minutes. Once we get into the nitty-gritty of the COVID, maybe we want to question election results. Anything that's banned on YouTube that producer Justin will scream at us for, we'll be moving to different places for that, where you can send us, again, your paid chats for us to read on air, whether they're questions, comments, concerns about my attire, concerns about the hummus last night, David Menzies, being questionable, and anything else you want to say. So let's get into it, David. There's a UK protest from Lewis Blackpool, who's, I think we're going to be great friends, myself and Lewis. And he went out to one of the protests, and it seemed to me, David Menzies, like the people out there are so thankful that there's actually somebody reporting on it, and it seems like they are so unexpecting of somewhat, at least unbiased coverage of just asking people what's going on, that people assumed Lewis was from mainstream media.
You know, you're absolutely right, High Energy. It's just like what happens in Australia with Avi Yamini or any other Rebel News reporters with the Rebel News mic flash. When they see that red, white, and blue mic flash, they know they're going to be treated seriously. They're not going to be condemned as kooks or yahoos, and that we're going to give the other side of the story, and they get a hero's welcome. And what does that say about the mainstream media in terms of falling into lockstep with a certain narrative?
Well, with the UK and Australia, it tells me that they have no one covering them at all in a fair manner for the other side of the story, as you say, because they jump into popularity immediately as soon as they start reporting on these protests. So Lewis is out there, and it's a good video. I want everybody to watch it because, like I said, people aren't reporting on those things fairly. The UK is pushing back on vaccine passports. Whether or not that comes out in the winter, which some people are predicting, we might see. But Lewis is doing a good job out there, and let's throw to his video. Producer Justin, please.
Go two for it! I don't know what's going on. Right, let's follow. So as you can see, we are marching across London Bridge itself in the middle of the road. I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime, to be fair, but they've done it. They have done it. This is Lewis Brackbill reporting here for Rebel News, and we're standing on London Bridge, and we're about to be hit by police, Tom, so we've got to keep moving.
So on the 16th of September, protesters gathered together in central London to march against the government's plan to ignore the advice of Britain's vaccine experts, the JCVI, and to continue with their quest on vaccinating 12 to 15-year-old children. Not only this, but Boris's U-turn on the vaccine passports, which is likely to be implemented for the winter COVID plan. Whilst the overwhelming majority of protesters were completely peaceful and just shared concerns as normal parents would. And quite a number of people recognised Rebel News, which was great.
You follow me? Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely to meet you.
Me too.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Nice one.
I think we all follow Rebel News.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we like to hear that. That's great.
However, there were a few that were very sceptical of me and thought I was mainstream media news because of how I dressed.
I thought you were calling me scum media then.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. Maybe later on.
Yeah, oh, we saw that from the Pfizer vaccine.
6 months.
Yeah,
But
it's terrible.
You don't report it, do you?
Well, Rebel News?
Why would you not report it?
Well, it's just come out yesterday.
This bloke was really annoyed because a study came out just the day before saying over 30,000 people.
Why are we here today?
Why are we here today? Right, we're here today because the likes of the people in this building are terrorists. They have terrorised our elderly into believing that they can't breathe fresh oxygen, yeah? We are here today because all they do is slander us. They lie continuously. They make profit off of the back of the lies that they tell. We've done this 4 or 5 times now, and every single time we have been peaceful, we've remained calm. It's the police here today that always start the trouble, okay?
Pat!
Long time no see. How you doing? You alright, yeah?
How are you?
I'm alright. A lot's changed since our last interview.
Would you date someone who's vaccinated?
No. There's not a chance I'm putting my piece in anything that has been double jabbed.
What are you doing here today then?
So a collective group of us have been organising protests for a few months now. We've been chasing the extremists, we call them, the not bad people, you know, they've just been misled for the last 18 months. We've been following around London, fueling this garbage of let's all stand around and listen to speakers, big speakers that make money off us and all this crap.
What do you think's more restrictive, going away on holiday or Boris Johnson's hair comb?
Boris Johnson's hair comb.
Now, this, folks, is where we have to take the off-ramp from the YouTube highway, because if we start talking about this video, we'll have to bleep our own voices in real time. Either that or go to an 8-second delay. So if you could please go to Odyssey, Rumble, Super U, that's where you can continue to see the live show. Isn't it amazing? YouTube, situated in Silicon Valley, United States of America, the home of the First Amendment, free speech and all that stuff. Yeah, we can't even talk in Canada about things happening in Britain because the Silicon Valley censors will be offended. So let's give Andrew a few seconds for our viewers to switch portals, and let's talk about something completely innocuous. You were talking
Stargate
about
SG-1 portals?
Well, you were talking about how horrible the Philadelphia Eagle fans are.
Yes,
I
my
concur.
friend
I think
Kelly
they
is
might be
one.
the worst fans in North America in terms of beingness. I remember it was a Christmas or around Christmas game. They booed all the people, like 80,000 people in Veterans Stadium, booing Santa Claus. Who boos